Welcome to the Wrestling Still Cool podcast. My name's KM. On this episode, I'm going to be talking with Tyler once again, this time about the 2021 Money in the Bank and going back and forth about that, as well as the recent news that broke out since Money in the Bank, to kind of give you a hint, Daniel Bryan and CM Punk. With that said, for social media, you can find us on Facebook. The Facebook is Wrestling Still Cool. If you do the @, it's Wrestling Still Cool Pod. The Twitter is Wrestling S Cool. The Instagram is Wrestling Still Cool. The TikTok is Wrestling Still Cool 90. The email is wrestlingstillcool@gmail.com. And my personal TikTok, which I post to, is KM_Wrestling Still Cool. Hope to hear from you guys there, but we're going to go ahead and get into the episode now. Anyway, so Money in the Bank 2021, the kickoff show, which I don't understand why this was on the kickoff show. We got the Mysterios and the Usos for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. What was your overall feeling regarding this?
It was a good match. I believe shouldn't have been on the kickoff. Because you have two tag teams, they are failing, but they have good chemistry with each other. And even against each other, they do. And I know one of the main reasons why they even had the Usos in the match is to further the whole Bloodline story. And I feel like it should be on the actual show, not on the kickoff that not everybody watches.
Well, yeah, it would make further sense to have the Usos be on the main show. Like, there was another tag team match with the Raw tag team. I think that one would have made more sense to be on the kickoff. Because the Usos are in the main story with Roman with the world title between those three, and it seems like every SmackDown Tag Team Championship match ends up on the pre-show for every pay-per-view.
Yeah,
And that doesn't make any sense. It's odd. It's very, very odd. And one of the things that stuck with me about the Usos is when you and I actually saw them live in 2018, for a SmackDown Live TV taping or TV show, really. Usos are very entertaining live. It's good that they're now part of the main picture, but I don't understand why this was on the pre-show.
Yeah.
And with the main Bloodline storyline, I think this is about to all blow up in Roman's face. It's getting there.
Yeah, because I can, later on in the show when they had the three of them backstage, I could tell that, Jay was into it, but you could tell Jimmy was not at all.
Right. And my idea is that they're probably going to have, it's a love triangle. It is what it is. But I think it's going to result in Jimmy and Jay splitting off from Roman. I think Roman's going to become more abusive, and that's going to set it off.
Yeah.
The next match was the Money in the Bank match. We got Alexa Bliss, Nikki. I am not going to call her ASH. Naomi, Asuka, Zelina Vega, who's now back with WWE. Liv Morgan, Natalia, I almost called her Natasha, and Tamina. Little subsect. I think Natalia and Tamina should have not been in this match. I think they should have had a tag team title match.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my opinion. Alexa looked like a wannabe goth girl with her ring gear, with the S&M inspired goth gear. Overall, not too terrible of a match. I think this is really the first or second match that Zelina Vega has had in WWE on TV. She did do a lot of match work in TNA when she was there. I think as Rosita. I'm pretty sure her name was Rosita. So this wasn't a bad showing at all for the ladies in the Money in the Bank ladder match.
Yeah, I thought it was a weird end to the match with Nikki just literally climbing over everybody and grabbing the briefcase. Because you don't see that in Money in the Bank, ever.
Mm-hmm.
So, I looked away for 2 seconds because I thought she was just going to start fighting everybody. I looked back and she's got the briefcase. I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And When you were talking about Selena Vega, can we talk about how half the people they released a month ago are randomly coming back? And it all started with Samoa Joe.
Well, dude. So with Samoa Joe, Triple H was pissed that he was cut. Really, really pissed.
I would be
Triple H apparently has not been happy with a lot of the cuts that Nick Khan's doing because everyone knows Triple H is in charge of NXT, and he's getting the rug pulled out from underneath him a lot, where they're cutting people that he has stuff planned for, so he has to like scrap everything and redo the plans. And Samoa Joe he took very personally. So from what I was reading, he basically did not get approval from anybody. Went and got Samoa Joe back, and I guess told Vince like, "I get it. You're trying to get some help here, but he has to tell me when he cuts anybody."
Yeah.
So
I've been
and it looks like from the most recent reading is now Samoa Joe is clear to wrestle, so you'll be having a match more than likely against Karrion Kross in NXT. Another person that's rumored to be coming back is Braun.
I was just about to say that.
Which my whole feeling when a lot of people were like, "Oh, let's have him in AEW," I'm like, he's not a fit. I would not want him in AEW. Of the other shows that I think he would work in, maybe Ring of Honor, maybe NWA. But I can actually see NWA doing a lot with him actually. But I thought another candidate would be Impact.
Yeah.
But my on my wish list to show up in AEW is Buddy Murphy. But we'll talk more about AEW because there's a couple other things that happened since the time that the Money in Bank happened till now that we're recording this on Sunday.
A week
Yeah,
like
yeah, about a week. So there's other stuff I want to talk about that took place during that. But yeah, Nikki, I hate the fact he's called almost a superhero. Apparently, the part of the reason they wanted to change up her character is Cross and Karrion Kross, whatever. Unless they go full Hurricane with it, I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah.
Which actually, speaking of Hurricane, he's been like drawing attention for the possibility he might be returning to WWE as for one-offs dressed as the Hurricane. He's right now a backstage producer. So the other tag team title match that was actually part of the main show that I think should have been part of the pre-show is AJ Styles and Omos versus the Viking Raiders. I am not quiet about the fact that I am not a big fan of Omos. I don't like the character. I don't think it works, but my own opinion. He kind of gives me this whole kind of like Giant Gonzalez vibe, where Giant Guns are even Great Khali, where they're big guys but can't really move that well. But
yeah. It's sad when you see all these giants that can't move well, but then you look at Big Show, who's like can actually move pretty well.
Big Show, Undertaker, Nash when he first came in could. Kane. So yeah. And then you got the Viking Raiders, who are War Machine and Ring of Honor, and War Raiders in NXT that are dominant tag team, and now they're just really used to get other people over, which I guess it shows the reliance on them. But I want to see a Viking Raiders. Like they've been showing more backstage segments and stuff to make them more popular, of them like bowling and whatnot, and I like to see that more with Viking Raiders and have a pretty good babyface run as tag team champions.
Weren't they tag champions at one point?
I think they were, but I think this is before they did the whole rehashing. I think they were before the pandemic era.
I think so.
Yeah, that and after the pandemic era is where it kind of became a more popular group.
Yeah, it's weird when I saw Adrian almost when they like won or whatever. I looked at it and I'm like, kind of gives me like a Jericho and Big Show vibe because of the small guy, tall man, small guy, very egotistical. Big man likes to break people.
Well, so there's two comparisons I saw that kind of I find funny. One was Braun Strowman and Nicholas, and the other one was Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy.
Yeah.
But my favorite, one of my more favorite is LeBron Strowman and Nicholas because they did Omos and then they photoshopped AJ, making him smaller, sitting on Omos's shoulder like Nicholas did with Braun.
That's funny.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, with AJ, I would like to see him do another main title run, but we'll see if that happens. The next one was how do I want to say this? This was a steamroll of Lashley versus Kofi. We are far and away from Kofi Mania.
I was hoping that he would have done like some sort of offense, but we basically got him and Lesnar just way worse of a beatdown.
Yeah, and so there's two things I don't like about what they're doing with the New Day currently, and it probably doesn't matter because New Day doesn't really need anymore. But I didn't like the fact they split up them and Big E, so Big E can do the title push, which is not really happening. Besides what we're going to talk about later on, and it seems like they haven't really invested much into Xavier as a singles wrestler. He showed on Raw, building up to this match, so that he can perform very, very well in the ring. And I've actually been a fan of Xavier's in-ring work as well as the character because I think he's one of the main draws to the New Day is him as a personality. So I like if I was to give New Day a project, if you will, it would be basically put a world title on Big E, tag team titles on Xavier and Kofi, but also have Xavier win either the United States or the Intercontinental Championship as like a one final run for the New Day because I think he would be a really, really good mid-card champion, whether it be United States or Intercontinental.
Yeah, because when you say about character, like when you think about it, yeah, Kofi and Big E also talk, but when you think about it, Xavier is like one of the main voices, like if not the main voice of the New Day.
A lot of what the New Day is known for seems more attributed to an Xavier idea. The whole pancakes, the unicorns, them dressing up as cosplay. That
The
seems
Trump,
more. That's more tied to Woods than it would be Kingston and Big E.
the Trump.
Oh yeah, the trombone, Francesca.
Yeah, I thought that was her name, but I could not remember.
Yeah. So it seems to be more of an Xavier Woods thing, and I think more evidence of that is the fact that he did get the gig with G4, and that just shows what Xavier has been able to accomplish.
Yeah, I do kind of hope that he gets a world title because if he cashes in and gets the title, all of them would have held the world title except for Xavier.
Yeah, and I'm fine with him not getting the world title, Woods. But I would like to see him get like Intercontinental or US.
At least a mid card.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? If he does get the world title in mid card and he does get the world title, they would have been. Oh wait, Esau has won the U.S. title, but they both would be like closer to Grand Slam because Kofi's already there.
Yeah, he's already there. I just don't really see Woods as a world or universal title holder. Nothing against Woods, but I don't think he's there, and I don't think they would be able to build him up to that. But um, at least the mid card, at the very least.
Yeah.
But this was a demolishing, and Kofi just got moved on back down in his placement in the card. Kofi Mania is over.
That's their way of saying that Kofi Mania is not happening again.
Yeah, which bullshit. But either way, then we got Ripley versus Charlotte. I'm gonna openly admit something. I have a bias